Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about the Nerf Strikeback, the blaster from N-Series that I saw down at Hasbro HQ on a screen, but didn't get to play with in person. These were finally available in Canada at Toys R Us. I'm just making sure I called it by the right name. Yeah, it's the Strikeback. This has a really cool shotgunny looking feel to it. It's not a shotgun, it shoots one dart at a time. It has an inline magazine from what I understand. Comes with 18 darts, has some dart storage that's kind of reminiscent of the Double Crusher as far as the dart storage on the back. So that's kind of cool. Maybe that's why I like the look of this blaster so much. My experience with the N1 dart as time has gone on, I still think for a lot of people that are just getting the odd blaster or kids playing at home, it's not that big a deal. I do have to admit I've found myself straying away from using these at events because while I usually bring my own darts to events because I like using new ones, just the fact that I'd have to scrounge around for my own darts. Over time, as they become more common, you know, that might not be as big a deal, but for now, it does make me a little bit hesitant in a group setting. And yeah, I just like to use the cheapest darts if I'm going to like a community event or something where I know I'm gonna be dumping tons and tons of darts. So, and also just the fact that the N1 dart is not nearly as accurate as the green Adventure Force waffle dart, which is the easiest to get and most plentiful dart in my area. But all that to say, I still am like an N-Series. I've ran some parties with it. Kids certainly enjoy it. It's just that dang dart issue that kind of hangs us up a little bit. But let's open this up, see how this blaster feels, and go from there. All right, here we go. Hey, and here we go. Cool looking little blaster, maybe a little lighter than I expected, but you know what? Actually, is a pretty good length. I was expecting it might seem small. It has these little clip-in dart storage bits up here. I left one on clip so I could show you. And it's almost tempting to print, like to leave these out and print some sort of replacement thing to click in there, but we could always remove them, well, by taking apart the blaster. You're actually not going to remove them without doing that because they snap in permanently. So all these darts that it comes with is kind of cool. I don't actually know how many this holds. I don't know. Let's see together. So you rack this back. It has that inline magazine. We push our darts in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this holds 6 darts in the inline mag, which is actually not bad at all. That means we're carrying enough on board that we can top it off twice from what we're carrying. This dart holder back here is actually pretty decent. This one, I don't know that I like the look of that one. So we rack that forward and let's take a little test shot at our bear. I mean, you couldn't see it, but I hit the bear. I'll show you a firing demo after. The kind of cool thing about this blaster is when you do pump it, this whole piece comes back. It's actually a little bit reminiscent, now that I see it, of the Nerf Pro Torrent that has kind of a big things move when you pump it. But I do love that it is an underneath pump grip. Loaded another one in. And I know that this doesn't have Slamfire because none of these N1 blasters do. So I hold the trigger and nada happens. So we already knew that. Oh, kind of wondered if I jammed it there. Nope, it's okay. One more. Right on target. I mean, after 20 feet. I'm going to fill this again and let's get some chronograph readings and I'll let you guys see it firing. Inline magazine blasters, because I made this mistake so many times, to clarify, an inline clip is a clip where you put in a bunch of darts, you close it up, you put those darts all kind of in a row, and then you fire, and then you give it a flick, prime it, and you fire again, with the darts moving up in series in the same tube. Now, an internal magazine functions kind of like a normal magazine, except it's built into the blaster and usually accessible from a top piece here, and you feed darts down into a very similar mechanism. It's just not removable. So sorry for mixing that up over and over and over. Back back to the review. Inline magazine blasters, I'm a little bit torn on sometimes with kids. I will say the N-Series Storm, whatever it was called, kids did pretty well reloading that. They had no issue. I must have one dart left, it's full. They had no issue reloading that inline magazine, so I expect they would have no issue with this one. And I think this blaster would be appealing because people are gonna think like, oh, give me the shotgun, bro. You know, oh, sorry. G-word enthusiasts, I'll tuck my little wing in there. N-Strike compatible piece up here for mounting a sight or something like that. Has no other N-Strike points. It doesn't have even the new N-Strike barrel that we saw on that Storm whatever blaster. I'll show a picture of it, I'm sure. And the stock is permanent stock, although I'm sure you could do some sort of bumper or something pretty easily with some 3D printing and some patience. But I don't know that you would need to. I think this is kind of a fun little blaster. I'm trying to remember how much it was. I feel like it was 30 some. I'm gonna check. At $38 at Toys R Us, this seems a little expensive. I'm sure if I had waited longer, I would have been able to find it cheaper. It is definitely not a bad blaster by any means. Let's get some chrono and fire it a bit. I'm hoping that we get some 90s here. 86, 87, 84, 87, 84. And that was it. You know what? Not bad. We didn't quite get 90, but we came close. All right, let's see if we can hit the cheat. We sure could. There you have it. That's the N1 Strikeback. I do like it. I think it'll be a popular one for kids to grab when I run events with all N1, which is what I tend to do now for my younger parties. I was saying at one point that I was going to try to replace Rival and just use N1 for kid to teen, but I don't think N1 quite does it. Those kids really wanted a little tiny bit more than N1 was putting out. So I have gone back to doing a split party loadout, but not the end of the world. I do like these for self-contained kid parties quite a bit, and playing around the house and everything is great. It's just the event I mentioned in a short a while ago, going to Grand Bay, where I know it's kind of all ages and families. I know I'm gonna just be firing a ton of darts. It's hard for me to pick one of these for that. I'd rather just buy a pack of 200 darts as cheap as I can at Walmart and take something that fires regular elites. I like it overall. I'd probably wait for a sale. Toys R Us in Canada tends to be more expensive than everywhere. Probably if you're in the States, I should check that and put it down below. You're probably not paying nearly as much as I paid for this, and that would make it a lot more recommendable. Kind of wish it did something down here, but a cool looker. And you know what? Maybe we'll get some mods for this down the road. Let me know what you think. Have you warmed up to N-Series at all, or have you still not even touched it? I'm curious to see what you guys think. It has its place. I like the shells, but as time has gone on, a little bit of that new glow is wearing off a little bit for me. I like this whole racking mechanism. It's pretty comfy for the size of it. It's kind of cool that this moves when you fire it. That's a nice goofy touch. Like, that didn't have to be added. They added it. I think that's really cool. And that's the kind of stuff that I do really like. Love all the texturing here on this stock and everything. Like, it does feel like a premium product. I know some people are not as on board with the bright primary colors, but I kind of like these too. Little did I know, back when I made this Gauntlet XL, that I was actually making these in N-Series colors. I did not do that intentionally. I just thought these colors look cool together, and what a match. Isn't that bizarre? All right, until the next review, everyone, leave those comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's a new blaster you want to see me review. I haven't put that kind of ask out in a while, but if there is something, I'm not opposed. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.